Okay, so we are back, and now we're in Genesis chapter 20. So, welcome back, everyone. Okay, so now we are getting into Abraham and Abimelech. Now, this character, well, let's go ahead and get started. Now, Abraham moved on from there into the region of the Negev and lived between Kadesh and Shur for a while. He stayed in Gerar, and there Abraham said to his wife, Sarah, she is my sister. Then Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent for Sarah and took her with him. Okay, so here we have another incident where Abraham has insisted that Sarah be called his sister instead of his wife. He did this before with Pharaoh in Egypt, and now he's doing this again with Abimelech. Now, Abimelech is a character that we see here. We're also going to see him go ahead and come all the way through Isaac's story with his wife. And so Abimelech lives a long time in this relationship with Abraham. But God came to Abimelech in a dream one night and said to him, "You are good as dead because of the woman you have taken. She is a married woman." Now Abimelech had not gone near her, so he said, "Lord, will you destroy an innocent nation? Did he not say to me, 'She is my sister,' and didn't she also say, 'He is my brother'? I have done this with a clear conscience and with clean hands." Okay, so here's Abimelech unknowingly takes this beautiful woman. It's amazing. Still amazes me. She was very old at this point, well past childbearing years. And Abimelech's like, "Oh, hey, sweetie." So Abimelech, he takes her unknowingly. This relationship that's being formed between Abimelech and the Lord, and Abimelech and Abraham. Abraham has, let's look at what all he has gone through, because this is after the redemption of Lot. This is after the three visitors. This is after the smoking fire pot that came between the pieces. This is after he has received the promises. This is after the circumcision. This is after all of these things. And here he comes into the situation with Abimelech, and he is faltering again with this trust of someone's going to try to kill me. Isn't that just the way we are, in that the Lord has brought us through triumphant things, and we have seen him work again and again and again in our lives. And then we have the same old fear jump up. And sometimes we have nagging fears that come to us. And with Abraham, it was always the beauty of his wife, that she was going to be taken from him and he was going to be slaughtered. That nagging fear in his heart did not leave him even into his very old age. And apparently it was a rightful fear, because she was gorgeous enough that Abimelech took him up on it. But I think that we need to guard our hearts and ask the Lord to cleanse us of old fears and to take away from us the things that have made us anxious, because the Lord has shown us, I'm going to be victorious in this way and this way and this way in your life. And so many times we still go back to those old things that we're afraid of. And the Lord's like, please understand that I am redeeming you now from all of the things, old and new. And that is a beautiful part of the story we have here with Abimelech. Now I want to go ahead and I want to jump over and finish up a little bit of his story, because we're at chapter 20 where he goes ahead and gives Sarah back. But I want to jump over to 21 and kind of finish up a little bit more about Abimelech here. At that time, Abimelech and Phicol, I guess that's how you'd say his name, the commander of his forces, said to Abraham, "Go, God is with you in everything you do." Now, interesting, because of these things that have happened between Abimelech and Abraham, and then Abimelech understands the Lord is with you, and so we want to let you be among us. We want to be a blessing to you because God is blessing you. And God will not deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. Show to me the country where you now reside as a foreigner, the same kindness I have shown to you. Well, Abraham said, "I swear it, that I will be kind to you." Then Abraham complained to Abimelech, though, about a well of water that Abimelech's servants had seized. But Abimelech said, "I don't know who has done this. You did not tell me, and I heard about it only today." So Abraham brought sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two men made a treaty. Now, this is very important, this relationship between Abraham and Abimelech, and this is getting to the really crucial part. Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs from the flock, and Abimelech asked Abraham, "What is the meaning of these 7 ewes that you set them apart for themselves?" And he replied, "Accept these 7 lambs from my hand as a witness that I dug this well." So that place was called Beersheba, which means the well of the oath. And So that place is called Beersheba because the two men swore an oath there. After the treaty had been made at Beersheba, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his forces, returned to the land of Philistines, and Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the eternal God. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. Okay, this is the first land in the promised land that Abraham takes possession of. This is the beautiful thing that's happening between he and Abimelech. Abraham had deceived him about Sarah, and Abimelech forgave him for that. And then in this relationship, he comes back, he says, I see the Lord's blessing on you. Don't you love the way that the Lord can take a broken relationship and he can bring something new out of it, even a covenant, the part of the fulfillment of the covenant to Abraham? Because here he digs a well, Abimelech and he make a covenant saying, I agree that you dug this well. And then he even plants a tree and he lives there long enough, I guess, to see it go ahead and grow, because the tree was significant and so was the well. And his relationship with Abimelech, being blessed by the Lord, even though it started out kind of corrupted or kind of where Abraham deceived him, the Lord is always in the business of restoring and fulfilling his promises to us, even when we mess up, even when Abraham had a faithless moment, faithless time again, about this old nagging fear. We need to pray and ask the Lord, take away my old nagging fears and continue to fulfill your promises in my life, just as you did with Abraham. So next we're going to go ahead and get into some great stuff about Hagar and Ishmael, and then we'll finish up today with Abraham and the testing. So we're going to go ahead and get into those good things. I'll see you in a little bit or later this week. Actually, if you're watching live, I'll see you in just a minute.